And we're live and late. God, that went on a little bit, but then accessibility is really important, isn't it, Thomas? We've got Thomas Amos, amazing chap. So, founder of Design and Design Box and a coach at Academy Mavericks. That is a very successful business based in Australia. Lets people or allows people to learn how to really do their businesses. Oh, we've only just gone live for 4 seconds. I'm going to do that again. Hi, we're live. It's Thomas Amos, Andrew Palmer, rubbish co-host. But we're just running a little bit late, so we're wondering what's going on. So, Thomas, don't rush. We'll just warn the people in front of us. But I want to introduce you properly. Founder of Design Box, great agency, great background, invested in your business. That's what it's all about. I think people investing in their business. And you're also a coach at Agency Mavericks, 17 years and some in web and marketing. And over the past year, he's built AI systems that have transformed how his agency runs. Welcome, Thomas. Let me just put up your slide here because I've been very, very naughty while we've been talking, because I know you and we've been talking a lot today. But I don't think I've got it. Yes, I have. Yes. From Burnout to Breakthrough. 7x your agency with AI. I'm used to hearing 10x. Thomas, how are you? How's it going?
Not bad, thank you. Not bad. Good. Really looking forward to.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add your. Oh no, we're grateful to have you. We're grateful to have you. It's great. I'm going to add your slides. I'm going to exit stage left. Don't rush. We'll warn Mr. Jacoby. He's the next host on with a panel or with one guy just saying things. Enjoy your presentation. I'm sure we're going to learn a lot. Thanks, man.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Hi there, everyone. So today, really looking forward to talking through how I've gone from burnout to breakthrough with my agency, and how you can 7x your agency with AI following some of the processes that we've done at DesignBox. So to reintroduce myself, for those of you that don't know me, my name's Thomas Amos, and I'm the founder and director of DesignBox. Also the founder of Agencio, which is a new SaaS software that we're just launching, and an agency coach at Agency Mavericks. So my main business is, like already mentioned, is DesignBox, and this has been running for nearly 10 years now, and we've got a great team, a strong culture, awesome clients, and to say the business is in a very good place, to put it lightly. But unfortunately, if I rewind a decade ago, this wasn't always the case. My first agency, Essex Web Creative, we were doing great until we weren't. I had no systems, no predictability, no client boundaries. I was overworking. I wasn't paying myself at times. I had no pricing model, no legal contracts, and then I just lost control. So to probably say I made every mistake is probably a bit of an understatement. So 4 years in, I did well to get 4 years in. I then eventually lost my business. I lost my team, lost my house, and just to put the nail in the coffin, I ended up with health issues, got resuscitated in hospital due to health issues, probably from all the stress and financial stress at the time. Unfortunately, my lung collapsed and put pressure on my heart, and very, very lucky to be here today. So yeah, at the age of 27, it was about as brutal as I could get, and I'd screwed up everything. But believe it or not, I learned from everything, and from the worst possible experience that you could go through, we come out the other side. So much like Stephanie, I unfortunately didn't have my hit by a bus business plan, or however the acronym that she put there, but I didn't have the plan in place to cover what I needed to do at the time. So thankfully, I got a chance to rebuild. Much to no one's approval, I had this great idea to set up a new business called DesignBox and do it all again, and learn from every failure. Now looking back, I probably wouldn't appreciate at the time, But now looking back, I'd probably say that failing was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, because every good thing in my business today came from something that didn't work at first. And it kind of goes with life as well. So that's how it works. You try something, you break it, you fix it, you improve, and you go for the cycle and repeat and keep going. And that's why DesignBox is where it is today. It's nothing that we did overnight. It's come from real experiences like everyone else. No magic AI tool helped us to get it there. It just come from years of getting the processes right, getting systems in place, and finding what didn't work and building from there. Now, obviously, AI is with us, and this is just the latest part of our journey, but it's certainly going to be the one of the most powerful one by far. So now everyone's on their own journey with AI, and it's probably been a little bit overwhelming the last 2 days and the amount of things that we see on social media. So everyone's in a different place. I wouldn't worry. Some of us are just getting started with AI. Some of you might already be doing incredible things. JJ's talk today was really inspiring. There's no right or wrong place when it comes to AI. But over the last year, DesignBox has been working extremely hard in how we develop AI into our business. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share what's been working, what we've learned along the way, and hopefully share some ideas and inspiration on how you can put that back into your business. Then I'm going to walk through how we integrate AI and what elements we integrate it. And then I'm going to be a little bit risky here, but I'm going to go through a bit of a 5 to 10 minute demonstration and show you how we can create an inquiry to a full-fledged digital marketing strategy from what we've built with AI. And you'll all leave with some free resources. I love to give out some free helpful resources along the way. So before I go any further and get into it, I know AI feels overwhelming. I know I just touched on that, but every week there's a new tool that's coming out. There's a new update. There's a new way of doing things. And it can feel like everyone's behind. But I just want to touch on something that's a bit of perspective here. ChatGPT only launched in November 2022. That's 3.5 years ago. And if you think about when the internet first came out in 1991, it took years before businesses even had a website. Nobody was really building an e-commerce website in 1995. So you're early in this space, and you're actually ridiculously early in this space. And that's actually the biggest opportunity that's sitting right in front of you right now. So no stress. Fun little fact here, I've put a little link to the first ever website that was launched, and it's still live today. It's certainly not the most creative of websites, but yeah, really, really interesting for those of you that haven't seen it. So one of the things that I want to say is you don't have to do this all yourself. You don't have to be an AI software developer integrating OpenClaw. As an example, there's a lot of software companies out there that are already doing all the hard work for you. They're already adapting and at an incredible pace. I've seen some amazing things that Atarim have been doing, and they tend to be ahead of the game when it comes to AI. They started talking about AI before even knew ChatGPT was a thing, and they've got these agents that are in place. So tools are getting easier. They're getting smarter and more accessible every single day. And they're figuring out all the hard technical stuff. So you don't have to put that all on yourself. Your job in a business is to focus on what you're already brilliant at. The creativity, the client relationships, the consultations, the strategy, being the professional. But the agencies and freelancers who start understanding where this needs to fit into their business are having a massive head start. So it's not about, having to create this insane agent system. It's about seeing how this works for your business. So take it at your own pace, one step at a time. And one thing that I recommend, which is what we've done, is we've just looked at what's important to us right now. There's a million things that we could do to integrate AI into our business, but we look at the thing that's most important to us right now, the biggest pain that we have in the business. So look at that one thing and certainly work on that as the first step. So before I jump into AI, I want to talk about systems and processes. This is a great AI photo of myself. And this is how I kind of felt when I restarted Designbox. I was very much the classic agency owner, and some of you might even relate and feel very similar to this right now, wearing all the hats, account management, HR, director, until you employed someone to do that. You probably even still did some of these things. And it felt really frustrating because I needed to scale the business and I felt like I was doing all the things. It's very difficult to scale when you feel like you're doing all the things. So we realized very early on that we had to work on systems and processes so that I could allow other people to take over. So about 5-6 years ago, I was a mentee at Agency Mavericks, and I had an awesome coach, Johnny Flash, and he was helping me with my business at the time. And we decided we were on the mission to get the team really efficient. So we decided to build over 1,000 SOPs in 1 year. And it was a brilliant idea that I really wanted to push because I was frustrated with either the quality or the time it took the team or the inconsistencies that we had. So we went mad on this and we decided to create SOPs on everything. And we created SOPs about creating SOPs. We created an SOP on how to pick up a phone. Not quite sure why we did that. And we had about 4 SOPs on how to create a GA4 account. And I think only 2 of them were actually correct. It was a bit of a weird scenario there. So the truth is, as much as we did this amazing database of SOPs, the documentation and everything was absolutely useless because no one fully understood the journey of what we were trying to achieve. And that's just something that we learned. You don't start with the SOPs, you start with the strategy, you start with the journey, not how to, I don't know, add a domain name to GoDaddy. That stuff, you would expect either your developers to know, or, if you don't know it, you'd expect them to look on Google or ask AI. You certainly wouldn't ask your accountant, you wouldn't expect your accountant to have an SOP on how to use Google Sheets. You'd expect them to know it. So there was that bridging area that we had to kind of figure out. And this is why it's really important to work on your journey and your process and systems first, because you can't plug AI into chaos. It doesn't work. If your processes are a mess, AI will do a fantastic job at making an even bigger mess for you. So here's the thing that I would probably say is work on the journey first and map out what success looks like. So this is a really brief, I'll say probably a really, really brief journey here. We actually have mapped out journeys, which I'll show you in a second, of every different element in the business. But what you want to do is you want to work broadly and you want to start working at from start to finish the customer experience and how you're going to get them to where they need to be. So here's, I don't know if you can see it here, but here's a bit of a screenshot of our whimsical process that we have in the sales element. And this doesn't cover our whole sales process. This just covers the initial contact journey. So what we've basically done here is we've created a very easy process to say when the inquiries come in, there's an SOP on how to handle that inquiry depending on where they've come from. There's a SOP on how to qualify them, and there's even SOPs on how to handle a sales call and what to do after the sales call. And that's just a simple journey that we mapped out. And then we worked out the SOPs on that. And then we worked out what worked and what didn't work from there. So we started with sales first because, quite frankly, I can't do all the selling. So I basically mapped that out so that others could follow and I could have a bit more of a predictable outcome when it comes to sales. Now, before I lose you, yes, I'm going to be quoting Elon Musk. once you build that process and that journey, it never really ends. So don't get lost in it. I'm just referring to Elon here because he runs one of the biggest AI companies in the world, while also building AI cars, AI robots, and underground tunnels and everything else. So if there's anyone else, who understands processes, it's probably him. Now, he has this 5-step method on how he fixes a broken system. And I started applying this to our user journeys and our SOPs. And it really helped our agency to make everything simpler, make everything faster, and way more scalable. So to start with number one, if you've got this SOP, if you've got these processes in place, you want to look back at them and question them. Do you need every task that you've set out? Are clients asking for these things that you're doing? If they're not, you might not even need to be doing them. In which case, you might need to delete some steps. If no one's asking for you to do something and it doesn't break and you still get the same outcome, great. You didn't need it in the first place. So certainly look at deleting and questioning anything that's inside of your process. Once you've done that, you want to simplify your process. If you have a 24-step Loom video or guide on how to log into a website, you probably find you're overcomplicating it. So certainly look at simplifying and optimizing first. And then once you've done that, and only once you've done that, you want to then look at accelerating it, finding a way to do things faster. Now, the last one is where we all, as probably agency owners, get a little bit excited. And we probably start with that first when we probably shouldn't, which is automation or using AI. So what I would recommend, once you've got a great system that works, then the fun stuff comes in. Then you can automate it because you know what success looks like, you know what works, and you know what doesn't work. And that's where really AI is going to shine. So we've talked about how the AI should be applied to your processes and systems. Let's kind of look at how AI should be applied into your business. Now, really sorry, I've put loads of examples in these next slides. It's not to make it overwhelming. It's just to show you how many different things that, might be happening in your team right now and to relate to everyone. So you might be working for yourself. You might have 5, 10, 20, 50 plus people working in your agency. Everyone's got tasks that they do over and over again and things that follow a similar pattern, whether it's replying to inquiries, writing proposals, onboarding new clients, following up, updating strategies. These tasks eat up hours, and they're the exact things where AI could maybe be implemented to assist your team. So now I'm not talking about replacing your team with AI. I don't think that's the right step unless your team aren't doing a great job. If someone's not working great, then it's irrelevant to AI. It's where it works best is probably where it works alongside them. So think of things like if you could imagine giving every team member multiple assistants, how much more productive would they be? And I think that's where AI can really, really, really shine. So you could have an agent that handles repetitive tasks for your sales team. They could help create better client relationships, every core function within your business. So I've just put in here a couple of examples and I'll share this after the talk. So if there's any here that sparks some interest of where you could possibly start, there's just a few here that we're using within our agency in a few different areas to help the productivity with a team. So this works at any size, whether you're a freelancer or you're a full-fledged agency, you can have one agent to help you with one task, or you can have agents covering multiple areas of the business. The principle is pretty much the same. Identify something that's repetitive, something that anyone can do, and probably get AI to help you with that. Build an agent to handle it and free your people up to do the stuff that they do best, or free yourself up to do the bits that you do best. So this is all great. There's all these great, exciting things that you can do with AI that you can implement into your agency and your team. But the question really is, where do you start? And for us, we started at our biggest bottleneck. We started at sales, and it's probably the area that's the most frustrating. It's the area that probably causes the most amount of pain, where you get clients that come in at all different stages in their business. So we started with sales because that was our biggest pain. You can start at any element that resonates with your business, and work on it at one element at a time. You can't cover AI to just do sales. Get AI to cover one element of sales, whether that's helping you write a proposal, whether that's helping you doing a meeting prep. You might even find you're doing some of these now and you don't even know you're doing them. So there might be, i.e., you're using Fathom or Fireflies to take meeting notes. Great. You probably just need to work out where that fits in your process and how you can get more value out of it. So I haven't got the screen up with all the comments, but I just want to ask you one question. And this is one thing that we were working on to start with. How long does it take you, if an inquiry comes into your agency, how long does it take you to create either a proposal or a digital strategy? For us at Designbox, when an inquiry come in, the team would then qualify them. We'd then book them in for a sales call. We'd then try to understand their business, and we'd have maybe an hour-long phone call and maybe a 15, 20-minute prep before that call. And then after that call, we'd make a strategy or a proposal or however your business works. And then after that, we'd have another meeting, going through the strategy, going through the proposal, and then we'd send it off, and then we'd follow up, and then we'd send an invoice, and then we'd have to onboard them. And we worked it out, and averagely we were spending from start to finish around about 7 hours when we were doing it properly and almost custom every time, which can be quite a long process and quite a painful process. So I wanted to work on that stage by stage. And I'm just going to show you a little bit of a demo of something that we built. And I'm going to try and be as quick as I can doing this, so just bear with me. But we built a complete system where we built a triage assistant to help us with the meeting, to help us qualify, and then to build a full digital marketing roadmap within about 5 or 10 minutes. Now, I will say, being very honest, you probably want to still spend about an hour, even though AI can do great things really quick, because you want to make sure it's perfect every time. But that's a darn sight better than spending 7 hours. So I'm just going to try and unshare my presentation. And in fact, I'm being a bit risky here, but I'm going to share another screen. So bear with me 2 seconds. Can I stop screen and share my next screen?
Okay. I'll take it off for you, Thomas. Don't worry, and I'll make sure it's shared properly. You ready for it to be shared? Good, great presentation so far. Carry on. Good stuff.
Okay. So at Designbox, we decided to build our own system, our own agency portal that handles the complete sales process from start to finish. Now, the screen that I'm showing you right now, let me see if I can give you an overview. The screen that I'm showing you now handles everything from doing proposals, looking at the sales pipeline, onboarding clients, doing audits to generate leads and inquiries. It handles the whole thing. Now, I'm just going to show you a little demo here in that demonstration. So what happens? We get an inquiry that comes through, and we've built this triage assistant. Now, what this does here is this asks us a series of questions. I won't go through all of it just because I know we're short on time. But what it does is it asks me a series of questions based on the inquiry that come through. And this we have tested, fixed, repaired, updated time and time again to get it to where we want it to be. And eventually we got it to a place where it was producing the perfect setup and preparation for every single meeting, every single time for my team. So where this was really important was we needed our team to ask the right questions and get the right outcomes every single meeting. So once we went through, and I'm just going to use the same client here, Bloom and Bark, is it? It then starts to go through this process, asking more and more questions, probably asks about 10 questions. And at the end of this, we get this full meeting agenda for my team. So they can look at this 10 minutes before the call. They know what they're going to be doing. They know the questions they need to be asking. And it gives them a list of really important questions that we need to know in order to create the strategy or create the proposal, whatever the outcome or success looks like for them. Now, they don't have to ask all these questions because we want it to be very fluid and natural in how they work. And sometimes you actually find that clients answer another question with another question. So you kind of want to be flexible there, but it's really important that they try and ask at least one or two questions within that meeting on each section. So there's a little brief there on things they should watch out for, some red flags that they might need to adapt to. And then there's a closing script on what we now need them to do next and how to handle any objections or hesitations that they might have. Now, this all takes practice, but it's much easier when you know what you're going to do. So this is something that we implemented to the team. They then go into a meeting, they can add this to the pipeline, to the CRM, and they can go in with a bit more confidence. Now, I'm going to give you a quick demonstration on, and I'm going to be really, really quick here, on how we create what we call as a digital roadmap. A digital roadmap is just basically a digital marketing strategy. So if a client come over to us and they wanted ongoing services like meta ad management, SEO, email marketing, we've built this system to know everything we do and how we do it. All the different plans and pricing, you name it, it knows this better than I actually know it now. So the benefit that we've done with this is that now when it goes to create a digital marketing strategy, it knows what we're going to deliver and it's not going to make it up. The biggest frustration that we had using Claude or ChatGPT is it might eventually create a great strategy for our client, but it didn't know what we delivered. It didn't know how we did things. So we implemented this into the system, and I'm just going to give you a quick example here. I've already set this client up. Let me just select a member of the team. We would then say, look, we feel like the basic SEO plan is right for this client. Maybe the boost email marketing plan is right for them. And we kind of already have an idea based off of the meeting that we had, what are the best services are that we need to provide. Now, another really cool thing that we're implementing right now is we're putting an API with Fathom.ai, which is what we use for meetings, so that we don't have to copy and paste our transcript. But what we have to do now is we paste the transcript from the meeting, or I have a little AI note taker on my phone that I can copy and paste into here. And this gives the complete context of what that business is trying to achieve and where they're trying to go based from the inquiry, from the triage assistant that actually sits in that client profile, and based off the transcript from the call, as long as your team have followed the process, asked the right questions, and got the right outcomes. Now, because of time, I'm just going to skip along, and it takes 2 or 3 minutes to do each stage. But I'm going to show you one example that we did here. It creates an introduction to the client, a really personalized introduction that relates to the actual client or the prospect that's come through. You can edit the letter and the personalized introduction. And then based off of that, it then goes ahead and it looks at opportunities in how you can help that client grow. And it tries to relate it based off of the meeting and based off of the brief that the client's given. And we make it really, really flexible so that we can tick what we want to show in that strategy, or we can refresh using AI to come up with some more ideas based on the services that we'll be providing. And it's not going to come up with anything that's not relevant. It's just going to look at the services and what we do. Based off of that, it will then come up with some KPIs. Now, this doesn't always work well if you don't know the statistics, but if you do know statistics and you want to put in some KPIs here, it's a good way to show proof of growth. And you can tick and show what KPIs you're going to try and deliver and work towards to help that client achieve whatever goal it is that you're looking to do. And then once it's done that, it knows our services already, and it implements what we're going to do for month one. So it knows with our SEO plan that we've selected that we do this for every single client every single month. And then it will suggest some campaign activities based on the goals, based on the KPIs, based on where that client is that they might want to be doing month on month. And if we're not happy with it, there is actually, if I unlock it, it allows you to come up with some more suggestions, and it keeps cycling around until you're happy, and you can edit them or make custom ones as you go through. Once you've done that, we then go ahead and generate our growth roadmap. So we'll go through this with the client, and this platform will create a consistent, reliable digital marketing strategy every time that we can share to our client that looks great and adds a lot of value. So it's showing here the growth opportunities, the KPIs of what growth might look like for that client. And then it's got a complete journey of what we're going to be doing month on month with the services we'll be providing. I'm going to skim through some of these. And it's just showing value the whole way through. So it's showing the expected outcomes that we might have month on month. It's showing at a glance what services we'll be providing and the services that we'll be doing and what that includes in each plan. Once the client's happy, they click I'm ready to go, and that's the next part of our system, which I'll maybe show another time. But it then goes through, it creates the proposal, the client can sign the proposal, and it sets them up with an automated onboarding sequence. So we're all good to go from start to finish. So once we built the system, to be honest with you, I then got the bug, and I then realized there were other problems that we needed to solve. So we then decided to build automated client reports, automated onboarding systems to really give a nice client experience and not go cold once they signed up. We built a system to collect content so that the projects could keep carrying on. We personalized our proposals. There was no real proposals that really looked great, or we had to make custom ones every single time. And we started to build all these extra features and functions that our business needed. Now, we never set out to build software. We just wanted to fix our own agency and the problems and pains that we had along the way. So if you don't want to create your own software, if you don't want to solve all these problems, I've had a lot of people that I've shown through Agency Mavericks that and other people that I know that actually just want the platform, want all the things that we've taught. We are looking to launch this in the next few months. So by all means, use the QR code. We'll put a link in there, and join the waiting list. We'll be hopefully launching this in the next few months, and we'll look to solve all these problems within a normal business. There's a lot of software out there that can help you handle different parts of the business. We want to cover them all. So especially when it comes to sales. Thank you, everyone. If you want to get in touch, there's the details there.
Well, I recommend everyone gets in touch with you. My goodness, what a plan. Where were you when I needed you, when I had my own agency? What the heck, man? What's going on? Right, we're running so late, it's crazy, but it's so worth it. Thomas, you have done, that's a great presentation. People, I guarantee people are going, oh my God, I want this, I want this, I want this. But it's not just the systems that you put in place. It's the mentality that you put behind it. The experience that you've had as agency owner, a failed agency owner, which has been, your story is tragic, let's say, because it's tough going through stuff. I had 2 years out with a bad back, a couple of operations later, and I'm back and fit and ready to get out there. Stephanie had her problems. We all know that people have had issues in their lives. You have really, there's an Italian word, it's la fenice, it's the phoenix. The phoenix has burnt down and come back, risen out of the flames. Well done to you. Congratulations. I'm going to end it there. There's just one more thing for you to answer a question on. Where do you think website agencies or WordPress web development creative agencies are going to be in 2 years' time?
Oh, that's a big one, isn't it? I think things are going to get less painful. I actually think the things that we have as pain now, we won't even remember If I look back, 10 years ago when I was using Dreamweaver or Flash, that all them things disappeared very quickly. So I think that, painful elements like getting content from clients is going to be super easy. It's not going to slow us down. We're going to be able to do things for our clients much quicker and deliver more value. So I think really we're just going to be able to deliver a lot more value for our clients. I think it's going to be a really exciting time. There's a lot more now that would have took us months to do that, we can do in weeks, if not days now. So I'm quite excited to see where we get.
Brilliant. And on that note, I'm going to say Stephanie's joined us for no other reason.
I just joined for 1 second.
We're late.
I just thought that all of us disaster-prone gingers needed to be on screen together. Can we take a selfie?
You cheeky monkey! You cheeky monkey! Yeah, I'm grey now. So Thomas, you'll get to my stage. So it's Thomas's birthday tomorrow, 29th of April, same day as my beautiful stepdaughter Grace. So she shares a birthday with a very clever person. She's a very clever person. Happy birthday for tomorrow, Thomas.
Appreciate that.
We've got to say goodbye because Ken and Jacoby have been waiting forever. So I'll see you later. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
Cheers, guys. Thank you. Bye.